Hello and welcome to beautiful Mountain Vista, or beautiful Shea Stadium in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. I'm Jack Schauer, and my colleague next to me is Yvonne De La Garza. And Yvonne, we are sure in for a good match tonight as the Mountain Vista Golden Eagles take on the Fort Collins High School Lambkins. Fort Collins leads all time versus Mountain Vista 2-1 to 2. And last year, Vista had a really good season. They made the playoffs, but they lost the first round to Bear Creek. And Vista lost probably their three biggest impact players last year in Nolan Gow, Chase Pacheco, and Topher Riker. And this team this year is really looking towards their seniors to fill up those roles that got taken away from them.
Hello, Jack, and thank you. Yes, of course, one of their players to watch is Brady Stevens in the midfield. Also, with his partner in crime, Johnny DeRosiers. Uh, for 2 years, they have made a great partnership together, and we hope to see more of that action this season.
Yeah, definitely. Looking for a lot of good stuff from them. And Fort Collins annually, uh, the past couple of years, they've made top 10 in the state, probably the last 4 years, I believe it is. And really, they've been just a powerhouse soccer team. They've been in contention for the state championship almost every year. And they didn't really lose too many impact players from last year. Their top scorer, Derek Eberling, he's returning. He had 7 goals and 8 assists last year, so he was really a powerhouse. He's actually moved to the defensive side, so it should be interesting to see if they'll move him up towards midfield this year maybe. Anthony Priest and Alec Fronapel, they're both going to be probably either strikers or their center attackmen in this game, and they've really have looked good. Speaking with the Fort Collins coach, he had a lot of good stuff to say about them, had a lot of praise for those two players especially. And then Eric Thompson should be leading the attack in midfield.
Absolutely, you're right. Fort Collins has been a really strong program. Is a really strong program from even from their first shot all the way to their varsity team. I remember in first shot we played them and we lost 10-0. So that just tells you how much their team has grown and will start growing and will stay growing. And for this season, for Mountain Vista, this is gonna be that season for us because we have really young players and then some returning players that are still young, have of a long way going. Uh, Players like Dante Amicarella, who just joined varsity, Mark Nicolosi, Kaden Cronenberg, um, Kaden Dixon, and so yeah, and then players like Nick Fox, Corbin Gamble, and Ross Moffat, who've been uh, really impactful last season, and hopefully will stay impactful this season.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a couple of those guys you mentioned in there last year who were on the team, and they really did help the team a lot, especially Nick Fox. He's been playing on varsity since a freshman, and he's been really just outstanding for this team. And now he's kind of getting into his later years of high school. So I think it'll really be interesting to see, how he's progressed over the years and how he'll, make a difference on the defensive side of the ball because really he's been their top defender almost the last 2 years.
You're right, absolutely. Nick Fox has been a rock on the defense for us, and hopefully we'll see the best of him today. So with that, we'll introduce you to the lineups today. Number 00, Kyle Hicks, sophomore, goalkeeper. Ben Nalen, sophomore, goalkeeper. Gino Booty, junior, midfielder. Corbin Gamble, junior, midfielder. Mark Nicolosi, sophomore, defender. Dante Micarella, sophomore, midfielder. Brady Stevens, senior, midfielder. Caden Dixon, sophomore, defender. Johnny DeRosier, senior, midfielder. Nate Robinson, sophomore, defender. Jake Edmonds, senior, forward. Caden Cronenberg, junior, midfielder. DJ Booty, senior, defender. Nick Fox, junior, defender. Jerry Sheehan, senior, defender. Gabe Barnard, senior, defender. Zach Schaefer, sophomore, forward. Kyle Rollopson, senior, defender. Bjorn Turn Larsen, junior, forward. And finally, Russ Moffat, senior, midfielder, all coached by Teresa Eckermeyer.
And for Fort Collins, it'll be number 1, Alex Snavely. He'll be a senior, and he'll be in net tonight for Fort Collins. Jerson Serena Sanchez, he's a senior, and he'll be playing midfield tonight. Number 3, Derek Schlegel. He'll be a junior, and he's at defense. Number 4, Jackson Maloney, senior defender. Number 5, Diego Arellano, senior midfielder. Number 6, Logan Katzman, senior midfielder. And number 7, Matthew Keaton, senior forward. Number 8, Jade Rademacher, junior midfielder. Number 9, Derek Everling, senior defender. Number 10, Eric Thompson, senior midfielder. Number 11, Bryce Sims, senior midfield. Number 12, Matthew Rhodes, senior defense. Number 13, Lucas Salisi, senior midfielder. Number 14, Brian Larson, senior defender. Number 15, Jesus Bautista Torres, sophomore midfielder. Number 16, Garrett Hayden, senior defender. Number 18, Toby Westenbrink, senior goalkeeper. Number 19, Josh Juarez, senior midfielder. Number 20, Maurizio Campana, junior midfielder. Number 22, Anthony Priest, junior forward. And number 23, Alec Fronapel, sophomore forward.
And with that, we'll listen to the rest of the national anthem.
With the conclusion of the national anthem will be just a few minutes within game time here. You know, I think Vista's really looking to capitalize on their season here. They have a lot of seniors this year, a lot of kids that are really going to have to step up and make big roles, especially those seniors that are going to really, make that impact. They want to make that impact this year. It's their last year, and so many of them did great things last year, and now it's their year to lead the team, their year to step up, and I think they're really ready for that.
Absolutely. Like I said before, some players to watch are Brady Stevens and Johnny DeRosier, which with the past 2 years have been really impactful in our midfield. They're controlling that, that nucleus in the midfield for us, in the field for us, and hopefully we'll get some fireworks from them this season.
Yeah, definitely. We're really going to be needing that kind of like step up from them, the real big the fire and intensity that, the intensity Brady Stevens and Johnny DeRosier, and the players like that. We spoke with Stevens and DeRosier, and Stevens was especially excited to be a leader this year and to be, stepping up into that role as being that senior, being the captain of the team, and just being ready to, help out those young sophomores like Dante Amriciano. He really wants to help them improve and take the next step in their careers, and he wants to do that this year. This is the year for them.
And also, it's a great opportunity for the juniors for the juniors to look how this season is. Like players like Bjorn Larsen or
Nick Fox.
Nick Fox and Gino Booty that are still are coming with their team varsity year next season. So hopefully it's a good opportunity for them to learn a little bit more about what Vista is.
Yeah, definitely. Mentioning Bjorn Thun Larsen, he had some playing time last year at striker. This year, we're expecting the same, that he'll be up there. But Jake Edmonds, he was also mentioned in the lineup, and he's actually walking out onto the field tonight. He was mentioned that he would be their starting striker, and that almost surprised me a little bit because Edmonds didn't really get as much playing time as Bjorn did last season. So I think really he's probably stepped up his training regimen and really been, playing hard to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see on the page when we see them walking out, we see a lot of new faces young team, and I think the message is clear. We want to send a message that we are a young team, but not as much as a slow team. We're gonna get there. It's gonna take time, but hopefully we can pull something off.
Yeah, definitely. A little surprise to me actually is they sent out Kyle Hicks into the net, and we were being told that it would be Ben Nalen that would be getting the start tonight. So I think that's a little interesting here.
I think what he is looking a little more is more capacity on saves. I mean, Kyle. I mean, Ben Nalen has the height, and he has the that presence. But I think he decided for something else today.
Yeah,
So
maybe a little more quickness out of the goalie instead because Westland, their fresh soft coach that also is the assistant varsity coach, he was telling us really that Fort Collins is a really fast, really technical team. They're going to really beat you with their speed and everything like that. Like he was really emphasizing that they're going to be a really fast-paced team. You're going to see them going up and down the pitch all the time.
yes, absolutely, and hopefully we can have a dynamic team and strong team. And as the game progresses, I like to mention that players like Dante Micarella, Magni Colossi, Nate Robinson, and Nick Fox are players to watch because they've been playing together for many years now, and it's gonna be fun to see a little more chemistry.
Yeah, definitely. Vista now has the ball on the Fort Collins side of the pitch, and Fort Collins will just clear that ball down. Kyle Hicks will call for it, and he'll just scoop it up and clear it out.
Right now, I will think that this team just needs to build more chemistry, like I said before, and then a little more confidence because this is a young team. Uh, we can expect this team to be killer in the first game of the season. As in every soccer team, time is important. Time is a paramount, and hopefully we see that.
Jake Edmonds now almost had that ball, and he had Kyle Rolfson wide open on the middle field there, and maybe they could have made something. How Vista gets the throw in.
Here we see a little bit Vista, a little bit lousy in the passes, a little bit lazy, sort of waiting for them to attack and provoke us.
Yeah, definitely. Jake Edmonds with the ball on the sideline. Not really the best pass like you were saying there, just kind of a weak, lazy pass. Not really moving the ball around that well.
And we'll see in this game, it's going to be a little bit of a touchy game. It's going to be a little bit of fouls. So we expect that game from them. Fort Collins is a really strong program. They cannot afford to lose a game, and they don't like losing. And so they're gonna do their best to get the ball at any moment.
Thompson with the ball now, makes a good move, nearly beats his defender. And he'll go out for a throw-in for Fort Collins.
We see already there a good partnership between Dante Micarella and Jake Edmonds and Nate Robinson. And it's gonna be really important to look at the triangles made on the page, looking for passes, which is something that really T emphasizes on certainty on passes, being open for the partner.
Ooh, good cross there by Bautista Torres, but no one could get their head on it.
See, we see already the game that Vistas are gonna try to play. They're gonna try to play counter attack, waiting kind of for the team for Collins to step up and provoke it. Good challenge there from Kaden Dixon.
Yeah, he's keeping good pressure there on the start. Ooh.
Good thing that didn't call that.
Yeah, that could have gone either way. Eberling with the ball. He was really their key player last year, scoring 7 goals and had 8 assists as a defender. Ooh, Jake Edmonds looked like got his cleats stuck in the ground.
It's gonna be a really tough team. It already seems like Fort Collins has been more threatening in this first half. In the first 3 minutes of this half, it's gonna be a long game for Vista.
Yeah, definitely. Just kind of like by the looks of it, it's like Fort Collins has a lot more size than Vista does. So with those challenges, it might be a lot easier for Fort Collins to win them over.
And a lot of technicality. You see already looking for those lateral passes, trying to surprise Kyle Hicks. They already know his weakness is the height, and they're gonna try to test him.
Definitely. Caden Dixon's been doing a good job, though, on the far sideline there, really covering up Bautista Torres, and looks like Priest has been over there on the far sideline as well, really preventing them from getting a good cross in or anything like that.
Absolutely. When we talked to the Brady and Johnny, mainly their goal was to uh, forget that, let's say, shameful performance in playoffs, losing to Boulder 1-0, or no,
Bear Creek.
Bear Creek 1-0. When they didn't even hadn't played in 2 weeks, so we'll see how the season progresses for this team.
Salavi picks up the ball, and he'll just boot it down the field. Not really the best of clears there.
You already see Vista trying to pressure the marking with double marking, and they know how dangerous Fort Collins is, and they're gonna try to counter that.
Good clear there by Everling. Maybe a bit too long almost, though.
And notice there how we have really fast-paced wingers in our formation, with Dante and Jake Edmonds switching, and then Nate Robinson going to the left side. So it's gonna be a game back and forth between those two players, Dante and Jake Edmonds.
DeRosier with the ball at midfield. Not really the best passer all I've seen. He was open, too.
And we can trust this team. We can trust our defense. We've seen them before, and we can attest to their potential. We have a really good midfield with Johnny and Brady, so we might have had rough start of the game, but it's gonna get better.
Yeah, definitely. And on that one, it looked like Jake Edmonds was going to go for a pass, pulled it back, and then went to dribble it again, and then just kept hitting the ball, and you just kind of slowly squeaked it over to him and lost the ball.
And you see how Mountain Vista is starting to play a little more defensive, dropping everybody to defend, and not leaving a space behind. Here we see.
Good move there by Ross Moffitt.
And that's going to be a good association between Ross Moffett and Kyle Rolfson. They've played together in JV for 2 years now, and hopefully they can keep their association in this team.
That was a good steal there by Fronapel. Read the pass really well. And now DeRosier with the ball. Threw ball up to Edmonds, but it was a little bit too far there. It'll go out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in in the far corner.
Here we see how Vista is going to try to defend too. They're going to try to get the long passes, try to find either Johnny or Brady, and start a play from there to get it to our forward Kyle Rolfson. And I just want to mention how incredible we see T with complications with her back. She's been in crutches for about 2 weeks now, and it's incredible how tough she works. She's a hard worker. She's a true hard worker. She's passionate about this team. She's passionate about soccer.
Yeah, definitely. And you can really see that in her history. I mean, she's been coaching for Mountain Vista since basically the start of the school, and she's just stuck with the boys and the girls because she coaches both teams just through thick and thin. She's been through everything with them.
And I can tell you that she has put a lot of faith in her coaching staff, and right now we see Coach Weston uh, partnering with T to help this team get their best game possible.
Throw in for Vista. And looks like official blew his whistle, and it'll be a free kick for Vista.
And I also want to remind you guys that Corbin Gamble is in the back in the team since leaving last year because he made a academy, and he's back with us, and he was one of the guys that was in that championship run team. So hopefully he can add a little bit of leadership to the team.
Yeah, definitely, and really, hopefully, he can bring that good skill that he probably developed there with Academy, and bring it onto this team and help out his teammates too with that.
Unfortunately, he's injured today, so he won't play. In his place is Mark Nicolosi, and Mark Nicolosi is a legacy player. His brother Sean Nicolosi was a player 3 years ago uh, with Mountain Vista.
Long shot here, and it just goes way over the net. Shot there taken by Katzman. So now Mountain Vista will have a goal kick.
Here comes Kyle with the punt.
Good move there by, it looked like Priest. Good slide there by, it looks like Caden Dixon.
And you see this team with a 4-3-3 player today. Uh, he is taking the big guns and trying to get a lot of goals with Kyle Rolfson. He's been fired with JV the last couple of seasons, and he's gonna be certainly a player to watch. Senior, he can add a bit more of leadership.
That was a great ball there by Jake Edmonds, but Nate Robinson lost it trying to drive it upfield. And it'll be a throw-in for Mount Vista, luckily. Over to Ross Moffitt. Moffitt takes a long shot. That one was nailed over the net, too.
And here's what we're gonna see with Ross. Ross has been known for doing those long shots, and if I may, very very accurate shots. He scored some bangers with that right foot.
Yeah, definitely. He's been a very strong player for Vista through JV and Fresh Soft, and he's always been kind of like an eye to watch there on those teams. He's a really strong leg, like you said, Yvonne. Priest making a long run up the sideline, gets the ball, looking for a cross now. Some good defending down there.
And here's something that makes Nick Fox such a rock in the defense is the fact that he can mark and run at the same pace of the opposing player. He's one of those players that he won't give a crap about what's in front of him. He will take the guy.
Oh, and it looked like there was a handball there by Nate Robinson, and they didn't call it, and that was right up next to the box. So a little bit of a missed call there from the officiating, but nonetheless, Vista lucks out. Good steal there by Robinson.
And Jack, what would you say? Who are the players to watch on Fort Collins?
For Fort Collins, really, on the defensive side especially, you got to look at Derek Eberling. He's really a very strong, physical, fast player. You can really see that too, especially once Vista pushes down the sidelines and everything. He's right there on top of them. You got to look at Anthony Priest and Alex Fronapel being the strikers on this team. We've seen them make a couple really good runs so far in this game, and they just aren't really quite able to get the cross yet. But that's really what we're going to have to look at in this game.
And you're gonna see a lot of lockdowns from both defensive sides. Our defense is gonna be really solid this year, and it seems like this defense from Fort Collins is gonna be as well as um, accurate.
Ooh, some good moves there by look to be Priest. Nothing to show for it as he lost the ball.
This is what Fort Collins is gonna want to do. They're gonna try to get those shots outside of the 18, try to get away from our defense and get that angle for the shot and test Kyle's ability in goal.
Yeah, and they're looking really clean down here on this side of the field with their passes. Just some good defending by Mountain Vista to keep the pressure on them and not let them get some of these shorter passes through.
And Fort Collins has always been a little bit of cocky in their playing, a little bit of tiki-taka, a little bit of those fancy moves. That juggling type of Yogonito type of game. And yeah, it's going to be important for the defense to read those moves, read those plays, and get the grasp of the ball.
Looks like a ball goes out of bounds, and it'll be a Fort Collins throw-in.
And as I've said before, this is going to be a really important season for the juniors and sophomores and sophomores really that are here, because this is a season for them to learn more, and for the juniors that have already been here, it's going to be acquiring that leadership that they're going to get from Jake Edmonds, Brady Stevens, and Johnny Rogers. So this is what T is trying to make. Trying to create is trying to create a young team. Here we see Corbin Gamble with the shot. Corbin Gamble entering the game.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a surprise there from T. Coming into the game, we thought Corbin Gamble was going to be a question mark and wasn't going to be playing in this game, but it looks like he is in tonight.
Yeah, actually during practice I saw him. His knee was hurting, and he was kind of a doubt for this match, but he seems like he's fit. With the number 3.
Throw in here to Eberling. Juarez with the ball at midfield.
And we're gonna see a midfield that is very dynamic. It's gonna be really powerful. They're gonna be a powerhouse for this team because they are young. They like to move. They move quick. They move accurately, which is something important.
And it looks like we'll have an offsides here now on Fort Collins.
This is gonna be a real good test for their defense. Trying to read those passes and really playing the offside game if possible. Offside trap, I meant.
Going for Fort Collins. Sloppy passing again here by Vista. They really have not had a very good possession time in this game compared to Fort Collins.
Now let's look at Caden Dixon. He's a player that's obviously so fast. He's really skillful in doing training, and right now he stepped up for our defense bigly, and hopefully he keeps that intensity throughout the whole game.
Ross Moffitt swapping out now for Caden Cronenberg.
Kaden Cronenberg, a really fast player, really good eye with the ball. He's a killer with the ball. He has that shot that when is the time to shoot or when he reads the place, he's there for the team and he steps up with goals.
Robinson with the throw into Gamble. Everling doing a good job there, keeping possession of the ball. I'm not sure how he kept that one in bounds. Shot! Oh, not quite the shot they were looking for there. He just hit it right at the goaltender.
And this is one of the things that Tanta Micarela has. He has that efficacy of shooting. He has that Latino flavor in him, you know, that Latino flavor that tells you should run, and has that smell for the goal when he has the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely. He really had a pretty good shot there. I mean, he had to kind of hit it from a weird angle, but unfortunately, he didn't hit that ball solid, and it just looked like he just kind of hit it weakly up to the goaltender.
And that shot with that was the first arrival from Vista in their 18. Here we have the first corner of the game.
Really big opportunity here for Fort Collins.
It's going to be served by number 11, Jake Braidmaker.
Good corner there. Just goes right through the legs, though, of a couple Fort Collins players.
This is one of the things that the Mountain Vista's defense is gonna have to watch for. They obviously Fort Collins has the pace and has the technicality and the height to create danger for in those set pieces, but they don't have something we have in that spirit, in that heart.
Oh, Priest coming on a run here down the side. Gets a crossover to Thompson.
Ooh,
and that's in the net for a goal.
That's unfortunately goal from Fort Collins. Here's what I was saying. This is one of the things that Mountain Vista is going to have to watch for. Those technicalities, those those plays that make you or break you, essentially, and hopefully they can get back together and repeat.
That was a great job there, though, by Anthony Priest. Looked like that ball was kind of getting a little bit too deep, but he had a great cross there over to Alec Fronapel, who had just a great head in there for the goal.
It's interesting to see during the kickoff, Corbin Gamble is doing now the traditional kickoff that was changed. Time before for international soccer, in the beginning you used to have 2 people in the kickoff. Now you have only 1. So I think that was an interesting observation.
And Fort Collins again with possession of the ball. Mountain Vista's not really doing a good job at all for possession time here, but now they do win the ball back.
And here's where one thing I'll tell you, T emphasizes a lot on accurate passes, finding the space, finding a man with space, and then looking for the true ball, and then getting it to the attacker. And hopefully Mountain Vista repeats their game and steps up big in attacking.
Yeah, definitely. They're really going to have to especially step it up, I think, in the possession game. They haven't had much time of possession compared to Fort Collins whatsoever. Really, any moment they've had the ball on their attacking third of the field, they really haven't been able to do much with it.
But we see that Mountain Vista never loses the spirit that has always characterized men's soccer. And we might not be known for being top 10. We are known for our spirit and our fight.
Yeah, definitely. You'll see them in the games that are, they'll be down 2-0 or anything like that, and they'll keep pushing. They'll keep sprinting to every ball. They'll really keep putting that effort forward, even though they might be down, to try and come back and try and win that game.
And it's important to say that T emphasizes a lot on bonding, on friendship, brotherhood, because this is what Vista is all about. It's about a brotherhood that plays for each other and cares for each other.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're still early on in this game, though. You know, there's a lot of time left for Vista to try and come back and try and take this game. Now Vista finally has the ball back, and there it goes again. Mountain Vista not really keeping good possession at all this game.
And I think it's too early to say, but Mountain Vista has been playing more desperately now that the goal came in, and this is really dangerous for Vista because uh, desperation this early can cost you the game.
Oh, through ball there was open for Gamble, but it was just not executed very well there by Dante Amaricayo.
Yeah, really, we're not having a so good game. Hopefully, in 20 minutes when the when the half starts, hopefully T gets their spirit back. Recompose this chess game that she had in mind in the beginning.
Couple subs here for Mountain Vista and Fort Collins. On the field for Mountain Vista, out comes Ross Moffitt again.
And Nate Robinson's gonna try to do that. He's gonna try to look for the long pass diagonally and look for Ross Moffat.
Yeah, really try and change the side of the field, try and change the pace.
And like I said, Forcon is getting a little bit touchy on those fouls. It's gonna be really important for Vista to keep their cool and don't try to play their game.
Priest coming on a good run here. Not a very good pass there to try and cross it over to the middle. Oh, not a good pass there by Edmonds either. He didn't put a lot on that ball.
See, we're playing a little bit sloppy. We're playing like we're afraid of the ball. We're afraid of attacking them.
Priest had a really good run. Here comes a shot, and it'll sail high. Great scoring chance. Looked like that was possibly Eric Thompson there on the far side of the field. Had a great scoring chance, but sailed that one way too high.
And it's gonna be really important for Kyle to keep his cool as well, because he acknowledges that he might not have the height, but he's a hard worker. He's a good player, and he's not afraid.
He really has some good toughness to him. Some real, like, you come at me, I'm going to come at you harder. That kind of mentality with him, that's really, good for a goaltender, especially if they're making those runs inside the box. Stoppage of play here. It looks like for substitutions for both sides of the field. Off the field for Fort Collins will be Alec Fronapel, and on will come Matthew Keaton. Off the field for Mountain Vista will be, looks like, Caden Dixon. And coming on looks like Kyle Rolfison.
And hopefully we see this throughout the game. One of the Mountain Vista's set piece strengths are set pieces, like corner kicks and free kicks. They have really good shooters like Nick Fox, Ross Moffat, and Kaden Cranberg, which can cause a lot of damage.
Yeah, definitely. Priest now with the ball on the far side of the field. Good defense there from, it looked like, Mark Nicolasi.
And Bryce Sims is going to be a really tough player to defend. He's been very snaily. He's played very cheeky on that right side of the field.
Just kind of some back and forth play there going on. Some great defense there by Kyle Rolofsson to win that ball. A little bit far on the throw in there by Rolofsson. Didn't quite hit his target like I think he wanted to.
And here we see the fight that Caden Cronenberg has been put into the team, to the midfield. He's a really strong player. He's a really hard worker player. And one of his strengths is he's fast, and he has that gift of the foot that can shoot.
Mountain Vista has the ball now. Looking for the through ball to Ross Moffitt. Moffitt with the ball. Looking for a shot. There's nothing there.
Oh, he shied away from the shot. A really good opportunity from Vista right there. He could have taken it from first touch, but he decided he wanted to look for a player to accompany him.
Just still get the ball back, but goes right to the defender you don't really want to give it to there on Fort Collins' side, and Derek Everling.
And something that I've been noticing is that Vista is not making is not creating spaces to have a pass, to create a moment of danger, and hopefully they can look at that.
Good move there by Brady Stevens to shake his defender for the moment.
Yeah, hopefully they can look at that and reassess their strategy.
Yeah, really try and maybe push that near sideline, try and maybe put a move on to open up the cross there.
And even switching the field, we see that our right side is being used mostly rather than our left side. And it's going to be really important to look at that too. And it seems like our MB unit stepped up and came. And we have quite a few people coming into Shea Stadium today.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of a little bit of a surprise. Usually, soccer doesn't really draw out those crowds.
That's true. But I think the fact that girls soccer has developed great runs these past seasons have carried over to the boys season, expecting the same.
Brady Stevens looked like he could have won that ball if he kept going, but it looked like he slowed up. I don't think he really had the confidence there that he was going to be able to get that one.
It's really strange not seeing that partnership that we always see with John and Brady. We see them a little bit shaky, a little scared, maybe not, maybe something like that. And hopefully that will change.
Throw in for Fort Collins, goes into the box. And good job by Kyle Hicks to secure that ball.
Kyle Hicks waiting for the players to push up. This really needs to happen. The players need to push up a little more. They need to be more daring to attack Fort Collins because they seem like they're scared, like they're waiting to tell them, come into my house and rough me. This is literally how we're playing right now, and we need to step our braveness.
Yeah, definitely. They're kind of hesitant once they get up into that middle part of the field there. Not really like you said, showing that like daring to like try and challenge them on trying to push the ball forward, trying to be too careful with it and too fancy.
Set pieces for Mountain Vista is a sword of two knives. It's gonna be their Achilles heel, but also their biggest strength offensively. Not as much as defensively. You see the first save from Kyle Hicks, and a great save not being afraid to
Put himself out there for the
put,
ball.
putting himself out there for the ball. Yes, and this is one of his strengths. He's brave and he's quick.
And so Fort Collins will get the corner there off the Kyle Hicks save, and it'll be Logan Katzman taking it. Deep corner.
And we see Nate Robinson and Mark Nicolosi going to the post, defending the posts, which is something that T really likes because obviously of the fact that Kyle doesn't have that height.
It's a good tackle there by Johnny DeRosier, but ball ended up in a spot that no one could get to. Ooh, and great challenging there by, it looked like Gino Booty.
Gino, Gino Budi of Italian blood. He's a chick player. He likes to be daring, which is something that Vista really craves for and really needs. And hopefully Gino will step up to the plate. So speaking. Great save by Kyle there.
Yeah, it was definitely a good save there. They pushed that ball way into the box and put a good head on it. Priest with the ball. Looking for an opening. Ooh!
And it's really important to see that their game plan over there. Number 9, Derek Eberling was waiting for that cross right by the 10 and waiting for the shot, which they had, which is something that the defense needs to read.
Yeah, definitely. And really, I think part of it is that Fort Collins is a lot more technical than a lot of these high school teams. You know, you don't really see as much of that in a lot of teams. And when you get a team like this that can really pass the ball around and really move it well and doesn't have to rely on that kind of through ball constant mentality that can really cross the ball well, I think it's a lot, harder for defenders to read that because they're used to just trying to look towards the man that's running with the ball, because most teams just have that one player that they have to give it to.
And it's important to remark that as opposed to Mountain Vista, Fort Collins has a lot of Latin American players which are known to be really pacey and really technical, which is not very seen in this part of the league. And here we see Zach Schaefer replacing Kyle in the attack. Zach Schaefer was one of those players that stepped up when he had to as a good super sub. He has that pace and that that eye for good shots and putting the right pass to the partner as well.
Yeah, definitely. Good steal there by Nate Robinson. Not a good pass, though, trying to get that ball up to Zach Schaefer.
It is more than notorious that these players need to know each other, need to get to know more a little bit how they play, where they move.
Fort Collins doing a really good job of swarming the ball. Not really giving any openings to the Mountain Vista players. And it'll be a free kick here for Fort Collins. Kind of a not really a good move there by Zach Schaefer.
And we've seen that Mountain Vista is stepping up more. They're being more daring, but they can get quite a pass there. That finishing pass and that finishing touch.
Oh, and good ball there. Maybe just a little too far, and a great slide there by Nate Robinson. That ball did go out of bounds, so it will be a throw in here for Fort Collins with 7 minutes left in the half.
And T has been a little bit active, even with her crutches, but she is keeping it cool. Maybe saving that next next half.
Yeah, try and kind of reserve herself, maybe to try and step up the intensity a little bit more next half.
It's interesting. Fort Collins attacking method has been a lot of through balls, you know, uh, in the air, trying to get past the defense and our goalkeeper.
Ross Moffitt with some good challenging there on the sideline. He will win the throw in.
And it looks like we have about 1 minute left of half. So that's either a good thing or bad thing for Mountain Vista.
Yeah, definitely. They're going to have to go quick here if they want to try and put something in before halftime.
But we've seen in the last 5 minutes at least that the momentum is ours for the moment.
Good move there by Fort Collins. And it'll be Mountain Vista throw, and they're really trying to hurry to get this ball. Good head there by Stevens.
And we see Mountain Vista playing the short pass. Here's gonna see a shot from Zach Schaefer.
Looked like that was going to be a little bit wide anyway, and it'll be halftime.
And that's halftime for us. Hopefully you've enjoyed this first part of the game. We'll be back for more. Welcome back, Jack and Shower, and in Iván Garza with you guys. Jack, what do you think? What are you digesting from this first half?
Really, I think some of the big points to hit on is, the physicality that Fort Collins has been playing with. They've been playing very fast, very quick. They've been really moving the ball well down the field. They've had the possession for most of the game, and when Mountain Vista has tried to challenge them, um, it has not really gone well. Like Fort Collins has kept the ball, and Mountain Vista's just really picked up the ball more on interceptions than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that the defense has been a little bit sloppy in the defense. Not knowing what the next play was gonna be, looking a little bit clueless out there. Hopefully, in the second half, T has instilled that
The drive and like
the drive
the
and
passion.
passion, and to really feel those colors, the colors they're defending in the pitch. You know, knowing that this is not over yet, is the first game of the season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's only a 1-0 game. Like Mountain Vista still has 40 minutes left to try and put that ball in and try and tie the game up. Um, really give themselves a shot. And the other thing, really, I think that is pretty easy to point out is the sloppiness of when Mountain Vista has the ball. They just have not been dribbling the ball or really passing it that well.
And we saw that in the last we saw that in the last 5 minutes. They've improved a little bit, but they still quite can get that finishing pass and provoke danger whatsoever.
Yeah, definitely. Like they've had a good couple of runs here in the first half there that they could have capitalized on. One in particular that comes to mind was when Ross Moffat had the ball on the far end of the pitch from us, and he had a real opportunity from when he first got the ball to shoot, but he tried to dribble the ball around and look for a different opening or try and pass it off, and he never really got the shot.
And we're gonna see a rotation of goalkeeper from Vista. Ben Nailing coming on to the pitch, and I think that T is trying to experiment with their keeper, knowing which one, trying to know which one she's gonna use for the rest of the season. If not, that she's gonna make rotations.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're right. You hit it right on there with that she's going to try and, switch it up a little bit and try and, see who's going to make the difference here in this game. Try and swap it up, try and get something going, because, Kyle Hicks has been performing very well in this game. It's just so early in the season, and both of them being young sophomores, you want to try and give them almost equal potential here to try and show themselves, improve themselves to try and win that starting job.
And not to diminish Kyle Hicks, he's done a tremendous job today, but I feel like Ben has a little bit of advantage knowing that he has the height.
Yeah, he's got that extra kind of length to him, that he can really reach out for a couple of those balls that might be, struck a little harder there from Fort Collins or really any other team, that he doesn't have to react as fast. He has that extra kind of second that he can, react to it because of his length.
Which is something that costed a lot for Kyle Hicks. It costed him a goal with that shot. He wasn't able to reach it. Now, Jack, if you were T at this moment in the halftime, what would you have said to the team?
I would have really said they need to pick up the intensity. They've looked a little bit lackluster with the ball. I think she really, sorry, she really should have put an emphasis here on their passing, and trying to bring out that intensity here in this half and really try and push the ball down the field a lot faster, a lot quicker. Don't be so hesitant with it. It seems like Mountain Vista is almost like afraid to make a mistake right now, and that's just causing more mistakes.
And that can damage a lot the performance for the next matches. Hopefully that changes coming up in the second half. And we're still playing. It looks like we're still playing a 4-3-3. T trusting that system that she's put in place, trusting herself, trusting the team, and expecting a positive result in this game.
Yeah, and kind of the 4-3-3 they've been playing has been kind of like a 4-3, like 2.5 kind of on the attack side. Like they've had one attacker kind of moving back towards the midfield a little bit more than the others on defense. But when it comes to attacking, they really push up that man.
And it's gonna be really important to look at holding mid, Brady Stevens, who is a fighter. He has a lot of leadership, and the team respects the guy.
Yeah, definitely. Spista gets a throw in here. Be a long one over the head of it looked to be Dante Almercado.
And also looking at Johnny, the kind of the playmaker of this team. He's gonna be the one that looks at to make a difference, attacking and creating those plays, making those passes, and connecting. Maybe hopefully a good shot.
And we'll have a throw in here for Fort Collins.
And also to diminish his technical skills. I remember the game against Arapaho 2 years ago in the quarterfinals, where Johnny had a run on the lateral, and he went inside and shot the ball with no angle, and scored a goal.
Yeah, definitely. That really is kind of one of the iconic moments, I think, for a long-time Mountain Vista soccer fans was right there in that game that, pushed them on to the next round in the playoffs and really helped their team out a lot in that season and kind of, I think, gave them a little bit of a morale boost that year.
It's going to be really important to look at those headers, turn the test, bend a little bit, and he gets a grasp on the ball on his first save.
Mountain Vista now with the ball trying to push up into the attacking third of the field. Good cross there. Mountain Vista not really winning the challenges, though, on that side of the field, and so Fort Collins will get the ball back.
We see a difference now, dividing the tasks a little bit. Mountain Vista is dividing the space between midfielders and defense and attacking, kind of sharing the marking, sharing the work on defense.
And so we'll have a corner kick now for Fort Collins with the clear from Nick Fox.
This is gonna be the third corner kick of the game.
And all the corners coming to Fort Collins' side, too.
It's gonna be really important to test for Mountain Vista to protect Ben Allen on those.
Yeah, and it was a fairly good corner there, too, and just some good defense there by Mountain Vista to try and keep that ball away. From the ball pushing up the side. Good cross. And that ball just sent high over the net.
Kind of Nick Fox lost a lick from Napfel a little bit, and he got into the 18, provoking danger.
Good interception there by Nate Robinson. What a good little back heel almost there from Corbin Gamble. Not a good pass yet again there from Mountain Vista. But Corbin Gamble does win the ball. Some great play here by Corbin Gamble.
Ooh, Corbin Gamble
Keeps the ball. Great cross.
Ah! Dante Micarella missed the shot, and
That was the perfect opportunity there for Mountain Vista.
he kind of he kind of got, hit it up in the moment. Those are one of those plays that you just have to control it and just finesse it. And he kind of rushed that play, which could have been the first goal for Mountain Vista.
Yeah, that was probably their best chance of the game there, and Americayo just kind of didn't quite hit his mark there like I think he should have.
But we're already seeing sparks of talent from these people like Dante Micarella and Mark Nicolosi, and Caden Dixon, who have been performing really well.
Yeah, and Caden Dixon really has, I think, stood out to me on the defensive side of the ball for
Absolutely.
Mountain Vista.
Absolutely. And Nate Robinson with a little bit of problems to get the pass to Dante. And throwing for Mountain Vista, trying to look for Corbin Gamble. I think the key right now for Mountain Vista is to look for the short passes, looking for the space, and looking to connect a good pass. Here we see the first set piece from Mountain Vista in a free kick. We'll see how that goes.
I think it's Brady Stevens here taking the kick for Vista. It's a good ball. No one from Mountain Vista's there. And it'll be just a goal kick for Fort Collins.
He's one of the keys for Mountain Vista. When they have those plays, they rush it. And kind of need to, relax, slow down, think about what's going on, and predict the next movement.
Yeah, maybe just have a little bit more patience there.
That's very important throughout the whole game.
Good touch there by Emery Cayo. See if Stevens can get anything going. And Ross Moffitt can't control that ball. And it'll go out of bounds for a throw-in for Fort Collins.
And it's really important to notice that Ross Moffitt hadn't been used too much on the first half. And I think that Brady Stevens is trying to look for more alternatives going forward.
Fort Collins just clears this one down the field. Mount Vista gets the ball right back. It looks like Mount Vista's really been controlling the ball much better this half than what they have last half.
Caden Dixon even stepping up to the 50. He's a real fighter, He's gonna be a rock in this season, I can tell. Definitely a player to look at.
Nate Robinson with the field on the far sideline. Getting some pressure put on him. Ooh, nearly shakes his defender there, but it was a great job by, looked like Thompson. or Fronapel.
Really good job from Nate on those challenges. Not downsizing himself and not doubting himself too. Uh, to get the ball.
Good ball there by Fort Collins to Eric Thompson. He gets the crossover, a little bit too long there. Fronapel has to try and recover for it.
And they couldn't get quite the pass there.
Yeah, that was a good chance there by Fort Collins. Just passes were a little bit too long.
They couldn't quite find the man.
Enriqueo, long down the field to Edmonds. Through ball, intercepted there by Fort Collins, but Edmonds will get it right back and just kicks it way high and over to the.
See, here's one of the things that Mountain Vista has. They get spread, and they lose sense of what's going on, and he's what can make you or break you in a season.
Ball cleared by Fort Collins. And they'll get the ball back. Priest with a good through ball. Over to Fronapel. Fronapel. They'll try and look for the cross here down now. Tita Torres over. And there was no one there for it.
You know, Fort Collins is playing very laterally, playing the flank, playing the short pass, playing smooth. They're playing smooth and they're playing fancy, but at the same time, they're being effective. And it's been really training to Mountain Vista and kind of their Achilles heel.
Enriqueo with the ball on the far sideline. Elvis is trying to move it around and create an opening here. Robinson will just clear it down the field.
If you had to give a performance so far for Mountain Vista, what would you give them right now?
Like on a grading scale?
On a grading scale, going from 1 to 5.
Probably I'd give them maybe a 2.5. Their defense has played really solid, but nothing on their attack scheme has really worked really well. They've had only 2 shots on net, and both of them were kind of just weaker shots.
Here we saw a failed attempt to get a cross. And I can agree more with you, Jack. It seems like there's no midfield going on around him, around Mountain Vista, and they can't quite find the connection between a midfielder and an attacking player.
Yeah, definitely. Their defense has played really strong, and their offense has created a couple good opportunities, but yeah, their midfield has really lost possession there, trying to in the transition.
And it's important to notice that Nick Fox is one of those players that when there's a set piece, he steps up to attack because he can also shoot. He can, even though he's a defender, he is really effective with shooting.
Sloppy tackle there by Jake Edmonds. Nearly got himself a foul on that one. Caden Dixon clears the ball down the field. One back by Fort Collins. And, ooh. Yeah, not a good play there by Corbin Gamble. He was jumping all over Derek Eberling.
And Fort Collins going to try to play that quick. Looking for the long pass. And here's a challenge between 22.
Ooh, good move there by Priest, but great job defending there.
And
It looked like Caden Dixon had the run there trying to intercept the ball.
a nice attempt by number 10 Eric Thompson, trying to trying to surprise Ben Allen with a cheeky shot.
We'll have a couple substitutions here for Mountain Vista. Out onto the field comes Kyle Rollifson. And it looks to be DJ Booty, possibly.
And I believe it is uh, DJ Booty with number 12 stepping up on that right midfield.
Great clear there by Nick Fox. Kyle Rollifson really trying to put some pressure on.
It's gonna be really important to look at DJ. He's been injured the last the last year with a back problem, and even with that, it's incredible to see the pace he has. He has an outstanding pace, incredible on that red midfield. He's gonna be really a key if they can if the midfield knows how to use him wisely.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, him and his brother both have that very like up-tempo pace. They're very fast. They're very technical with the ball, and I think it's just kind of a different pace of play than what Mountain Vista is used to. Usually they're a little bit slower, a little more laid back with their pace, but they're so quick with it that it's like almost they can't quite find the spot for them yet. And I think they're still trying to find where they can put them into their scheme.
And it's gonna be really important to look at the partnership that DJ and Gino have, because it's brother with brother. So that makes it a little bit special for both of them.
Good ball there. Fronapel has a real chance and sends it too high.
Good chance and a little bit of a distraction by Mountain Vista's defense there. It's gonna be really important to keep track of them.
Yeah, definitely. It looked like a ball that really shouldn't have had anything going for it. I mean, it was just a clear from Fort Collins, but Fronapel was able to run it down and gave himself a good chance.
And it was also a mistake from Phil. Not being able to get. Ooh, that looks like no. It's gonna be a goal kick from Mountain Vista. Ben Nellen hasn't really had any dangerous opportunities any opportunities of being the hero to kind of stand out.
Yeah, I don't think Fort Collins has put a ball on net yet with Ben Nalen in goal.
Ooh, that's gonna be called. It's gonna be is it a penalty?
And no, it looks like it'll be a free kick right on the edge of the line, the box.
Here comes danger from Mountain Vista.
Definitely, this is a really good opportunity.
Look
for
at the
Fort
angle.
Collins.
It's a great angle. It's gonna be really important for Ben Allen to be aware of the shot and setting up his wall correctly.
Yeah, and he's really pushing for that wall to get closer to the net, which I think is a little interesting from where they lined up.
Here comes the shot.
Oh, off the crossbar. And
Oh!
great
Ben Allen with a
play.
save!
Wow.
Ben Allen stepping up when he has to be. Ben Allen, obviously, this is the first attempt.
I'm not even sure if that was Ben Nalen. That could have been Brady Stevens. I think it was defending in front of the net there that kicked that ball out. A little bit of confusion there from Ross and Brady. And oh, they had a good chance there for a through ball up top to DJ.
It's going to be really important to look at the opportunities 1v1 Fort Collins has. because they're trying to appeal to that speed they have, to that technicality, and kind of uh, that spark they have on shooting.
60 minutes have passed, so that means we have 20 left to play here in this game.
In 30 minutes we've seen, in 20 minutes we've seen that uh, Fort Collins has gained three free kicks in the last 20 minutes. So,
Oh!
and that's the second goal for Fort Collins.
Oh, man, and they just ran right over Brady Stevens on their celebration, but
The night is coming over Mountain Vista. This is a downhill battle now, and this is soccer. This is still possible. The fight is tougher. The game will get harder, but if they really try, they can still make a difference on the scoreboard.
and that really should have been a ball that Ben Nalen saves there. I mean, it was right in front of him, and it really wasn't moving that fast. Vista will just clear it here. DJ Booty, though, really putting a good effort there on trying to attack that ball.
And we haven't really tested that keeper that much. We haven't really had those moments that where Johnny can execute a good shot. Ooh, good attempt by Fort Collins right there.
Goal kick for Vista. They'll just clear it out. And no one's able to get there a little bit too far.
He's gonna be a
To the
throw in,
sideline.
throw in for Fort Collins.
Deep throw in. Good pace there by Kyle Rolfson. Looked like he didn't touch the ball last, but ruling was is that he did, and so it'll be looks to be corner kick here for Fort Collins.
We had a lot of corner kicks, and it's been really difficult for Vista to defend them. And hopefully, they can learn how to beat those plays and get a grasp on the ball and maintain position, which is something really important right now.
Good job there by looked to be Kyle Rolfson to get his head on that one.
It was a foul there. We noticed a foul.
I think it was a foul. I'm not sure what for, but it was. And Vista trying to win the ball back.
And we've seen throughout the game that Mountain Vista has been outpaced and has been outworked. We see that the players from Fort Collins are a little more strong, more, buff,
Yeah,
and,
they have a lot of size, really, compared to the Mountain Vista players.
and a lot more quickness, which is something that Mountain Vista has struggled today. And second corner kick in the last 4 minutes. Corner kick there. And it's clear by Mountain Vista.
Yeah, some good defense there from Vista to
And
make
that's,
sure that ball didn't quite get in the position.
and that's going to become another corner kick. It's going to be really important again for Mountain Vista to defend that. And not leave a player unmarked.
Good head there. Looked to be Brady Stevens. Thompson on
they're
the
gonna
far
go
side.
Laterally, Neil Robinson gets possession. Kevin Cronenberg. Missed pass.
Good move there by Johnny DeRosier. DJ Booty was looking for a through ball. Didn't give it to him. Corbin Gamble now will give it the through ball of his own. Nothing again there for Mount Vista from another opportunity.
You know, we've gotten those opportunities, but we haven't been able to get the finishing pass, like I keep saying, and it's a factor that has to be worked on during the weekday.
So Vista will get their corner though. It'll be their first one of the game. Let's see what they can do here. And it'll just be headed out by look to be Derek Eberling. Good ball there by Nate Robinson. Over to Brady Stevens, who just gives it right away.
And from Mountain Vista's midfielder, we've seen that, like I said before, they're looking for those triangular passes, but it has really been executed well today.
DJ Booty really made a good move there. Get that ball. Oh, Zach Schaefer was not ready for that ball off of DJ Booty's foot. Not sure what's... Oh, we have a down player, and it looks like it's Brady Stevens down on the far sideline near the bench for Mountain Vista.
And we see training Joe quickly attending the guy.
It looks like they're working on his leg. Looks like it might be cramped or it might be a knee problem, possibly.
And Gino Booty is going to be a brother substitution. Gino Booty stepping up for DJ Booty.
Yeah, and he's really not wanting to put any pressure there on that leg, so.
He has been taken off. And I believe that's Dante Micarella, isn't it? Number 5, Dante Micarella.
Yeah, that is Dante Micarella coming onto the field.
This is going to be a really tough loss for Mountain Vista during this minute. Brady is really the brain of the midfield, along with Johnny. We're going to see how they plan to step it up. We see kind of Corbin Gamble taking that pot on defensive midfielder, and Johnny DeRosier taking that spot on attacking midfielder.
Good chance here again. Fronapel with the ball. Passes it over to Priest. Priest with the shot.
Ben Nalen with the save.
It was a good save there by Ben Nalen. Really used all of his height to get to that one.
And here's what we've said in the beginning of the game. Ben Nalen has that the height and a little more technicality in regard to his handling skills of the ball, and he's delivering.
Good ball there from the corner. And that Jake Edmonds will do a safe way of it and just kick it out of bounds. Dave Robinson clears it down the field. And looks like we'll have a throw in for Mountain Vista. Looks like we'll have another throw here for Vista on the far sideline.
You know, I get a vibe that throughout this game we see Mountain Vista really nervous. I know it's the season opener, but it hasn't changed that much since the first half. We see more patience and more quickness from our team, but at the same time we still see them nervous and not being able to capitalize those passes.
Looks like we have a new goaltender in for Fort Collins. number 18, Toby Westenbrink. And that'll be a free kick for Mountain Vista.
And we shouldn't worry that much. This is one of those games that where you look at the pieces you have, you try to adjust them at your desire, being the coach, and you kind of get to know their strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, you really got to look back at today and, see who excelled well and who in certain situations and who didn't so much. And you can really adjust to how a team is playing against you in the future because now you've seen it and now you know what's going to happen, when the ball comes towards midfield or the ball comes towards the attacking half and who's going to pass the ball well.
And as of right now, who would you say has been the player that has stood out the most?
For me, really, it has been Caden Dixon on the defensive side. He's been playing all over the field, and he's been doing a really good job of shutting down the attack for Fort Collins. And it's just been kind of fun to see him fly around and make some really good tackles and interceptions.
I couldn't agree more with you. And I also would mention Nick Fox, who's been really tremendous on the defense. And Dante Micarella too, with that spiciness. With that spice that is characterized.
Good job by Mountain Vista to keep the ball, and that one's just sloppily given away by Johnny DeRosier. And somehow it just stays in the Fort Collins side of the field. Not really sure how that happened, but in the end, Mountain Vista will get a throw in. We'll have a couple substitutions.
Here we see Mark Nicolosi being replaced by Jake Edmonds.
And it looks like Caden Dixon is also back in the game. It looks like Jared Sheehan is also entered in the game for Mountain Vista.
Oh, Jair Sheehan. I thought it was Jake Edmonds. My bad.
Fort Collins will make a couple substitutions here too.
Yeah.
Off will be Alec Fronapel and Eric Thompson, and on.
Yeah, Jair Sheehan is one of a player to look at too. He's a senior. He's been really impactful in fresh offs and JV's defense. He's a tough player. He's tall. He's a monster. He's just a monster on defense.
10 minutes left in the game. We've just hit the 70th minute. Ooh, some good moves there by Gino Booty.
Gino Booty gets it again. Gino Booty running down the field and just getting caught by
Nearly beat out his defender to that ball
Collins.
too.
with good association there with those triangular passes, going from Fox to Gino Booty and then to Corbin Gamble. Really getting a gist of what that association is.
Looks like Corbin Gamble will have his chance now to try and make a move.
Dante to get the shot.
Oh,
It goes right to the keeper.
first save opportunity there by Toby Westenbrink this season.
I think Dante offensively, Dante's one of those plays I will save. In the manner of performance, I will save Dante Micarella. He's been really enormous, shooting, and being there just for the team, you know.
Nick Fox with the head.
Ooh, look at that that pass
Ooh.
from Corbin Gamble. Just to get caught by.
Fort Collins defenders. Priest makes a good move on Caden Dixon. And another good move there on Johnny DeRosier. But DeRosier will come all the way across the field there and intercept that ball.
And you almost see that those passes connected by Fort Collins is kind of like a clockwork, tick tack, kind of connecting those passes, you know. uh, being smooth, being smart about where the space is, and kind of finding that next move, you know. And we were expecting that game from Fort Collins.
Yeah, definitely. We were expecting the technicality, and we were talking about it earlier. And really, we have seen it in this game. They really have come through to our expectations, I think, with how technical they would be.
Fort Collins kind of getting the position there, trying to look for a pass. Just to-
Gino thought about challenging him there, too, and just let it go out of bounds. Bryce Sims will take the throw in here for Fort Collins.
Corbin Campbell marking and getting the possession. Ooh, that's gonna be called a foul.
And it's a foul on Mountain Vista.
Should have been. It should have felt. Well, I felt like Corbin Campbell was the one that got tackled, but
Yeah, I'm feeling
Sure.
the same way as you are, Yvonne.
the
Not
ref
really.
called something else.
Good head there by Gamble up to Kyle Rolifson.
And I feel like coming from our midfield all the way to our attacking territory, we're playing a little bit of egotistic soccer. We're not playing to create association, but to play to create their own fame. I feel like players like Kyle and Caden Cronenberg have been uh, really individualistic.
Very, very kind of selfish in this game.
Yes,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Looks like that ball bounced out of bounds, so it'll be a Fort Collins throw-in. Approaching the 75th minute mark here in this game, meaning we have 5 minutes left.
And it's still early, but we can say that this game has been extremely tough. It's gonna be a real good lesson for Mountain Vista.
Becomes a good chance here for Vista.
It's gonna be really important for them to learn uh, on this game and move on and improve. There's a lot of job to be on.
Not a good touch there by Corbin Gamble. Looks like it was a handball.
This team is a work in progress, and no one was expecting this team to be perfect. But we kind of got the expectation that we were expecting a bit more. We were expecting more enthusiasm, more passion, more love for the colors.
Mm-hmm.
But we couldn't quite feel it today.
Yeah, there wasn't really, it didn't seem like there was a lot of pride. They were playing very slow, kind of lackluster, not really making the decisions they should have, not winning the challenges that they really had the advantage in coming into those challenges, and then just giving away the ball very poorly. And right there kind of shows it, again, not controlling the ball well.
And we've seen this throughout the whole game consistently. Mountain Vista has had like a 6, 7 opportunities, and none of them have been concrete because of that. Patience. Couple of subs here.
Gino Booty takes the ball to the other side of the field. Caden Cronenberg tried to get the ball but didn't quite win it, so Fort Collins got the throw in.
good chance.
Good
there.
tackle.
That was a good chance there for Collins. Always looking for that uh, lateral pass. Not being able to concrete.
Yeah, and it was a great tackle there. But it looked like Jared Sheehan.
And it looks like Gabe Bernard is also on the pitch, if I'm not mistaken. Or is that? No, that is Jared Sheehan. No.
So Ben Nalen will get the goal kick here, winding down in the 78th minute.
No, I'm right. Gabe Bernard is playing in the right back position, along with Jared Sheehan and Ken Dixon.
A good head there. But a great job by Caden Dixon to stick with the ball and win it back. Move there, but it looked like possibly Johnny DeRosier.
Ooh, kind of rushed movement there. That could have been a great opportunity for Mountain Vista.
Yeah, definitely. That Mountain Vista has not really taken their opportunities very wisely in this game. They've kind of not taken their chances well. They've kind of blown the opportunities that they've gotten. Really, this game, I think, should be 2-1, not 2-0.
And kind of closing this game in 1 minute, what are your final remarks for this game?
Really, I think it's just kind of an overall disappointment for Mountain Vista. They really just looked super sloppy. They didn't really have the intensity and the drive that I think you wanted them to come out with. And like you said earlier, Yvonne, they've kind of been playing selfish. They really haven't been passing the ball well and have been very kind of individualistic with this game. And really, Fort Collins has just showed an overall dominance over Mountain Vista with their physicality and their technique. And, you know, they've been just playing much better soccer than what Mountain Vista has.
You know, I couldn't agree more with you, Jack. One thing more than disappointing has been a learning lesson for Mountain Vista. We haven't been expecting much from this team, but we also were expecting a little more fire from this coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
And I believe Ben Nalen has been stepping up great for this team, getting a little more of possession than Kyle with the hands.
Yeah, definitely playing a lot more defense. And so that will be the final whistle. So Mountain Vista will lose their season opener 2-0 to Fort Collins.
You know, we know this was a tough game. Disappointing for Mountain Vista, and hopefully they will straighten them out tomorrow, and work more during training.
Yeah, definitely.
So this has been it, folks. Thank you so much for being with us during this broadcast. I am Ivan de la Garza,
And I'm Jack Shower.
thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.